So today we're going to talk about Responses API and how it works in n8n. So what is actually Responses API? Responses API, it's a new API primitive that OpenAI created where they combine simplicity of chat completions and complexity assistance API together. So let's check how it's different from chat completions API and assistance API. First of all, Assistance API will be deprecated soon in next year, so you need to migrate to Responses API anyway. And also already OpenAI started to limit different features for Assistance API. For example, you can use ChatGPT 5 with Assistance API, and you can use different tools like computer use, MCP, image generation, and other tools too. What else? Also, Responses API works much faster based on my experience, where I replaced Assistance API for very complex workflow. It just decreased time 10 times for API generation. The Responses API works different, and you need to create, instead of creating threads and assistants, you need to say and store somewhere a responses ID. This way you will control history of messages and dialogues with users. Let's go to n8n and check how it works. So first of all, you need to check API itself and see what parameters we have here. So most of important, it's input and instructions. Instructions works a bit different from Assistance API, where you specify instructions on assistance level. Here you need to specify instructions every time, or it will be used from previous response, from previous request. Also, from what you might be interested. Other important one, it's previous response ID. You need to specify it to keep history of messages, and also tool and temperature if you use temperature sometimes. Yeah, but tools, you can specify what tools this AI assistant can. And here's the full list of tools that are available for Responses API. Let's go to n8n and check how it works. We made a simple Responses API request here, and also specify different set nodes to get input and out. Yeah, so I just specify input here, like prompt, your simple assistance. Actually, it's not a prompt, but instructions for assistant, and text is just chat input from the previous node. After that, we need to set up this Responses API. So the method is post URL responses, the same for everything. It's the one of the parts of simplicity, this solution. And then we need to specify credentials. It's OpenAI credentials. And here we can specify model, instructions. These are prompt input is stringified truncation means that if you know how thread works, so every time you create new messages in the thread, in your, for example, chat in ChatGPT or thread in OpenAI Assistance, every new message can override the previous history. So if the whole history of messages is too long, so they have a limit, like context window limit. If it's too long, it's starting to summarize previous messages. And it works the same here. It's disabled by default. And in case your history will be too long, it can fail with an error, and we don't want to. So we need to set truncation out. And also we can specify tools. For example, here I specify two tools, web search and image generation. Then, as you can see, I've already tested it, and I asked to find breakfast cafe in Brooklyn, and it returned me these 6 results. And actually, we can see that it used web search. Yeah, so as an output, they provide you the full history of what AI assistant do. For example, you can make some additional requests to storage, or not the storage, but your vector database or web search. And after that, it could trigger a few tools before answering you. Yeah, but here we just use web search tool and then web search tool, and then message was ready. We have a few annotations here. Yeah, so all these links taken from Google Maps actually. Yeah, and yeah, we have the response itself. Also, let's try to generate some image. Generate image take some time, and now it's ready. So we have a response here, but we don't see the image because n8n can display your image without the direct link to images. So, but we can see that again, send response used image generation poll. and result it's just base 64 string that we need to convert to the file. Yeah, so here I have simple switch where I specify like I'm trying to search. You need to also don't forget that this is an array of different outputs, and you always, for example, for output text, you need to always use last function. Yeah, for example, here output last one to get the last response. And here I just found by the type it has some image generation call. Then I'm converting this to file tiger, and then we set up output so the last function. This is what we see in our chat. Okay, it was quite simple one without responses, actually without set up the history of messages and without tools. Let's set up more difficult scenario with a tool retrieving and also with sessions. Yeah, actually let's just check how it works. Yeah, because I have some data about romance in my vector data store. That's why I'm asking this question. And it goes there, some data and processes, and then answer it back to me. Something wrong there. Oh, okay. We have to change it. Use this respond to chat. Well, again, let's reuse this message. Yeah. So how it works? First of all, we need to specify Supabase database. It can be Google Sheets, it can be Airtable, doesn't matter. Yeah, you need to store somewhere the response ID. So every response, as you can see, has own ID. And we can provide this ID in the request itself to keep the story, like history of message. Yeah, so I created simple table. As you can see, just opening AI response ID text, and the session ID, it's again text, it's session ID or for this chat. Yeah. So every time we send a new message, we first of all trying to find session. Yeah, we are with that session ID. Right now, I have already 2 messages here, so we found one. But if it doesn't exist, we just create a session, and then we need to merge this data together. So in both cases, we will have the same data structure. It will be like ID, data, response ID, and session ID. Yeah, and so here I'm just merge it with a simple set node. In JSON mode, I just specify JSON from any of these nodes. And then I set up variables. I do it like that because it's much easier to specify text here than to do it like that directly in the request. Yeah, so I specify some prompt, we specify some, and then we need to set up this request to responses API. So again, we have a model, we have instructions, we have an input, then we have a temperature, and we have temptation, tools, and here I specified one custom tool. As you can see, it's this one. So the type is function, name knowledge base, and then we need to specify schema of output. So don't forget to specify true parameters, and we have one property is where AI should be specified on query base. And also you might notice that we have something here, and this is actually a condition to specify response ID of previous response to keep the history. So how it actually works? We have a set session, and this set session will have responses, OpenAI responses ID. By default, when it's just only created, it will be null. So we will this part, yeah. So if it's null, if it doesn't exist, then we simply paste empty string. If it exists, then we specify previous response ID, and we specify like JSON fingerify OpenAI response ID that we saved on the last step right here. Yeah, so if you didn't get it, again, we will come back when we will finish it and you will see how it works. So as output, it has only one output, it's function call, our function name knowledge base, and it have arguments query romance because we asked about romance. Yeah, so here again, we need to have a switch to identify if the last output was a simple message or it was a function call. We need to go and identify which function exactly was called. So again, we use output last and we use name to specify knowledge base. If you will have multiple functions here, you simply need to add additional routing rule and specify the value, and then you will be able to add another branch here that will be merged in the same edit response. No, here nothing special. We have documents table, the embeddings. Yeah, this is all about the history. And so we have this like Supabase null for retrieving data from the vector store. We specify our table name, documents. We specify query that was taken from arguments. Yeah, so we just map it like that. And also we use JSON parse to get the query itself, because AI always return text, not the JSON as an object. Yeah, so you need to always parse. So the query is Romance, nothing special here again. We have some links, and then we need to aggregate because we have multiple items as the outputs. We have multiple. We need to aggregate it and send back to our things about Romance. We need to aggregate it and response API. So I forgot to show you actually how things works if you don't know. So there should be three actually subjects, one of them user, developer, and the model. So every time the user asks the model about what, for example, what the weather in the Paris, model decide that first of all, developer specify that this model have some custom function to get weather, and to get weather, model should specify location. So every time user asking what's the weather in Paris, model decided to retrieve these two, and it just specify location in Paris. Then as a developer on our side, this is our side as a developer, we need to trigger this function and get some response. So we triggering something with the Paris, get the temperature 14, and after that we need to send back this answer to model. So this model will be able to answer actually not a developer, but a user. So it's currently 14 degrees in Paris. So here, this is how we answering back to Responses API. The answer is combined data about promo. So again, this is the same post request. Again, as I said, they simplified everything. So you use the same URL, the same request, model. And here in the input, before we specified user input, and then here we need to specify call ID to be retrieved again this output. So each output has call ID. And also, actually, you may have multiple function calls. For example, after that, model can decide that it's not enough about promos, and they can try to do another function call, or they can do multiple function calls in the parallel. And in this case, every function call has own call ID, and you need to specify it here. Again, we can paste it here. And then output, it's our aggregated data. So we aggregated data, we aggregate simple data, and then the object in this array, it has a document key, and again, it's object with the page content. So we need to retrieve all page contents and join them together. So what we do here, get data, then we retrieve some content, and then we simply join when it came text, those page contents text. And then we stringify it. We need to make it safe for JSON, that it will be one long string without breaking in JSON rule. And also, most importantly, we need to specify previous response ID to keep the history of messages. Again, you can find a response ID in the send response node. And after that, everything is ready. We send it to Responses API, and our new out. Again, we have one output, and it has a text about Romans. So we need to get this output and map it here. Again, we map together and response, because there be a case. For example, if we ask, please create 5 questions for me and based on this data. For example, if we ask that, then once API won't be trigger this function call, because it can create 5 questions without any knowledge base. And then we will have not a function call, but a message. And this message also will have the same data structure, and we also get it via JSON, and we have everything the same. It will be output, like last output, we will have content, and this like text. So then we will save and map it like that here. And in both cases, we will have a right response. And after that, we need to save again to the sessions that was created or that was retrieved here. We need to save OpenAI Response ID. That was the last one. And the last one was in submitting tool. Actually, if we haven't submitted the tool, then it will be here. So that's why we merge together both these responses here, and we use actually response ID from edit response. So how it looks like, you see in this path, and right now we're asking this question. We retrieving session. Again, in the session, we already have some response ID, and it means in this request, it will add new additional row. Yeah, so again, set session, OpenAI response ID exists. That means that we need to create this string with the response ID to keep the history. So in this case, we wasn't needed any function call, and we just set up message. And again, we map the structure is the same, output, content, text. So yeah, everything mapped very well. Basically, that's all. This is how a response API works. If you haven't ever tried it, you can try it yourself. We have all these templates in our community, 5min.ai, and also we have global courses there as well. So please check it and subscribe on our channel. We have very great content for you. Yeah, and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.